Welcome to my world, everyone. This is Like It or Not with Michael Lane. And Michael Lane is who I be. Catch my show on smacktongue.com and Blog Talk Radio. Information is below you, man. Fired up. Tell you how all this went down, man. About my thought, man. About how I'm thinking about this whole thing, man. It is bogus. Now, after so many decades, a tape has been released about from the coming out of his own mouth, the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. coming out of his mouth, man. It was talking about Kennedy and how Kennedy played such a big role in getting Martin Luther King out of jail for a traffic violation. He was sentenced to 4 months hard labor in prison. And so Kennedy played this role and had to get him out of jail. He was just the main guy that did it, and that helped him get the black votes and won. I think that's what made LBJ look at it and say, "Hey, look, we're gonna have these niggers vote for us for 200 years. We're gonna have niggers voting Democrats for 200 years," because he saw that. Now later on, it wasn't released until recently that the great Dr. Martin Luther King, may God rest his soul, he said, hold on. He played maybe a small part. If anything, he called and expressed his concern. But there were a whole bunch of people helping me out. There was a whole bunch of people that played that part that got me out of jail. It wasn't Dude. Dude did a little something, he acknowledged, I acknowledge that. But don't forget, he was a Republican, Dr. King. He was a Republican. So was his father. And he originally endorsed Nixon. And Kennedy played it. Now, I'm not trying to knock Kennedy. Oh, yes, I am. But he used that to get the black votes. That's back then when the black votes meant something. Now it doesn't. That's why they're talking to gays. But black folks votes, it was powerful then. And he received the black votes, enough black votes to defeat Richard Nixon. Now let's go here. That's just all the liberals pandering, and it all like, wait a minute, we can pander to these liberals because they would not even allow Dr. King to vote. Let's take it here today, because we all know the games that these liberals have been playing for decades and decades on black people, on the downtrodden, the poor, but especially blacks. Now, we are talking about the great Dr. Martin Luther King, and yesterday was acknowledging, but I don't like just talking about black people when it comes to him, because he didn't represent black people. He represented all people. He wanted equality, racial equality for all people, all races. So it wasn't a black thing. It was a human thing. It was a human mission. But I'm so sick and tired of people who are falling for the liberal trap and comparing the late Dr. Martin Luther King with this fraud of a president. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing Facebook postings. I'm sick of seeing tweets. I'm sick of seeing all of that junk comparing. Now look, I understand the color situation, the color barrier, color of his skin. Well, you got it half right. Okay, he's half black. He's not all the way black, okay? He's half black. So but okay, if you want to look at it as the significance and just the figure, fine. But I've heard people comparing him. I've seen people type it out and tweet it up and doing all that other stuff and saying he is just like him. First off, he was a man of God. Second, well, on the other side, Barack Hussein Obama is not a man of God. He actually condemned the Bible. He was a man that wanted all races to be equal. But we have a president who wants to divide and conquer. Just like he said recently, well, right now, since my polls are down, it's all because of white racists. People are racist. Throwing off the race card. Buddy, you're not black. Appreciate everything about you. You are of a mixed race. All right? Stop with the race baiting. I'm not fooled. That's something Dr. Martin Luther King never would have done. Well, the reason I believe that they're against me is because I'm black. That'll help me get votes. He's not about that. He's for everybody. He's for God, which is something that Obama isn't for. He would not take a stand for gay marriage. He would not take a stand for for abortion, killing babies. He wouldn't stand for that. Let's not forget, he wasn't just some type of dude that just said, I'm going to just wake up one day and I'm just going to fight for civil rights for black people. It wasn't for black people. He woke up and God gave him a revelation and said, hey, fight for all people, and do your best to end racism for the most part. I'll move through you. So he was like, cool. But he wasn't only that. He was a minister who picked up the Bible and brought the word. Just saying. Something that the president is against. Something that the president don't stand for. Now, when I say that he was against gay marriage, it's not about, oh, you hate me. Oh, he hates you. Oh, he hates this. I love everybody. And Dr. Martin Luther King, that's not they, according to their Bible, they preach from the Bible. That's what they believe. It is a sin to do. They're saying the act, not the people. Well, we hate you. They never said that. That's not what they preach. That's not in the Bible either. Show me. But I'm saying that's what Christians did. And he was a Christian. He was a Republican. And all that. Stop comparing. This man is a far left liberal. This man was a great American and a Republican. I would like to, with his beliefs tying in, because a lot of people don't know who he is. Straight up. That's why they're doing it. They don't know nothing about this great man. But he was a constitutional conservative. A Frederick Douglass conservative. Period. You know what I mean? So stop posting stuff, comparing this great man and pinning this great man with this loser of a dictator. Get to know the man. Study the man. And don't post or tweet out of ignorance, like it or not.